Hey, what's up, guys? Hades here. So today we have an interesting video. I was scrolling through some of my old data and I came across something very interesting. And it's right here. I, in the past, made an extensive detail of all my speed ups. I dated it 5/17/2023, so this was last year. About 10 months ago? Yeah, 10 months ago, almost a full year. And I extrapolated the data out to get me my total hours of pretty much everything, right? And you can see the subtotal here. And this is in days. So there's hours, days, and then I added all of these together to get this total. This is just something fun I did in the past, just as a hobby, right? And I forgot about it. It had been quite a while, and I recently made the bank video last week, and I had some comments and some people asking like, dude, Hades, how do you collect so much? How do you save so much? Like, where does it come from? And today I'm gonna go through it. Like, where does it come from and how do we get there? So you can see here, I was doing it like every week, and then I stopped after a couple times. But then I recently just did one. We just finished IB League. You use a ton of speed ups. We just had a KVK. Use a ton of healing. And well, where does it sit now, right? So you can see kind of the breakdown where a lot of things come from, and you can kind of see where it's grown the most. I've gained 16,005 minutes. I'm up in 15s. I'm up in 30s. I'm up in hours. And I'm way up in 3 hours, right? It went from 300 to about 1509, and that's going to be one of the biggest ones, and you can see it more clearly here. The 3 hours kind of resulted in about 900, and then here it results in about 4,500, right? And then you can see the total days has gone up from 340, just about 1 year in days to about 2 years in days. So I'm gaining almost a full day of speed ups per day on average, right? And so where does it come from? Well, it comes from random things throughout the game, right? When you collect your dailies, like, boom, there's some speed ups. Oh, there's some more, right? And then you start clicking through and you go, well, there's some research, there's some building, there's some training, and then it's like, well, when I do all my dailies, I get my rewards from alliances, and then I go into different events, and you're like, huh, well, I got an hour there, and I got an hour there, and I got an hour there. Wow, this event gave me 3 hours or 4 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you go, wow, then there's dailies here. And then, oh, wow, there's gems and dailies everywhere, right? And so it comes down to how much do you save rather than how much do you use, right? And I know a lot of people who cannot control themselves when it comes to something like healing speed ups, right? So my healing days has gone from 172 to 123, mainly because KVK, IB League season, I think there's been 2 seasons since that point, and which can be demanding on the healing. But of course, I'm always doing the core healing and daily healing, and just making sure I get as much as possible throughout the days, right? And then, of course, I use training during KVK, so training has gone up just a touch, but part of that is the update. When they updated the well, right, you get so much free training. You get the 6 hours here and the additional 3. So you get 9 hours a day in training. So training comes very quickly. Now, here's my advice to you, and the big takeaway from this video is save for the events that matter to you, right? For me, I love IB League. I will always have a massive reserve of universal speed ups for any time I want to play Ivy League as hard as I can, right? If you love KVK, then your healing and universal should be very high in the off season. You should never spend them on a training event. You should never spend them on a KVK. On a kill event in your server. You should spend the absolute minimum, right? And training as well. Training, healing, and universals. You want as much as you can for combat, right? Now, if you're in the early game or mid game, I would be spending my research to max research, but I personally have been trying to save it. Haven't done quite a great job. Pretty much balanced out. I used quite a bit to get some of the new stuff that came out at Castle 55. It kind of wasted my reserves, so I don't really have any reserves anymore, but that's okay. I try and keep my research as high as possible for new events. If I had done more data, this probably would have gone up to 100 or 150, maybe even higher. And then after the update, I, of course, spent a bunch of it to be maxed as fast as possible. So if there's not another update for a few months, I'm going to collect 100 days or 200 days of speed ups, and then I'm going to, boom, spend it all to max it as fast as possible. Saving and storing is massively important in this game, and I cannot stress how important it is to check your tab, make sure it's growing, right? Your universals, your healing, your training, your research are all super important. And of course, building, if they ever make Castle 60, or maybe they make some sort of conversion event, it's important to always gather these. And something I definitely miss was Mysterium. Don't miss your Mysterium, guys. I talked about it in a previous video, and I've done the math before. You get like 18 hours of just general speed ups. Like, it's not something you should avoid. Doing your daily challenge here, participating in all events, super important to be active and saving as much as possible. So my advice is save, and spend in the big moments on your favorite event. If you love KVK, save it for KVK. If you love kill events on your server, use them on kill events. Whatever makes you happy in the game, that's where you should use them, and you should save them on all other moments. So that's my advice for today. If you like these kind of videos, leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.